Hey everyone, welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're zooming in on the reality of 2026. There's this narrative out there that often gets painted with a lot of shadows and dystopian gloom. But when you actually look at the real data, it tells a completely different story. We aren't looking at some sci-fi world where artificial intelligence replaces humanity. Instead, we're entering a brilliant, dynamic era of enhancement. It's really about augmentation over automation. It's about keeping the human firmly in the loop.
Okay, let's dive into this. Take a look at this striking number, 26%. According to recent research from the UOC, generative AI could automate up to 26% of tasks in the arts, design, entertainment, and media sectors. Now, at first glance, I get it. That number might seem super intimidating to anyone working in a creative field. But the data tells us that this 26% isn't about replacing the artist. It's actually about shifting the burden of those tedious, mind-numbing, repetitive tasks completely off their shoulders.
Chapter 1. Creativity, the Strategic Artist. Across the creative industries, professionals are no longer viewing AI as this robotic rival, but honestly as an incredibly powerful research and brainstorming partner. To really wrap our heads around this, we have to look back to a 2016 project called The Next Rembrandt. This AI produced a stunning, three-dimensional printed painting after analyzing, get this, over 168,000 fragments of the Dutch master's work. By mapping the deep textures, the unique lighting, and the exact brushstrokes of Rembrandt's style, the AI essentially acted as a massive enabler of human imagination. It's like having the ultimate creative assistant.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the breakdown of why creatives actually choose to adopt these tools today. Performance expectation is absolutely the primary driver. Basically, if a tool helps an artist perform a specific task way more effectively, like, say, generating complex edits in seconds, they're going to use it. The other two critical factors are support, meaning practical video demonstrations and user help, and brand trust. At the end of the day, creatives just want reliable platforms when they're integrating AI into their daily workflows.
But hey, let's be real. It's not just a frictionless transition. The research impartially highlights some very real barriers here. For one, there is a deep-seated fear of change, with some folks viewing AI as a legitimate threat to the value of human labor. And on a purely practical level, a lot of the most advanced AI tools require ongoing financial investment. So for independent freelancers or small studios, those financial constraints, combined with the pressure of constantly needing to reskill, are significant hurdles for sure.
Ultimately, Weglars's research brings us to this really powerful conclusion. AI does not replace human creativity, but it can significantly enhance it. The artist's role isn't disappearing, it's just evolving. We're spending way less time on the raw technical execution of a piece, and far more time on strategic thinking, critical conception, and managing the big, high-level ideas.
Let's move to and see how this builds into Chapter 2, Education, Redesigning the Classroom.
So the reality is, AI arrived in classrooms before most schools even had a blueprint for what to do with it. According to insights from Boston University's Wheelock College, AI is fundamentally reshaping the teaching profession. Think about lesson planning that used to take hours. Now, an AI tool can scaffold a plan or differentiate a reading assignment in literally a matter of minutes. But here's the catch. Absolutely none of that replaces human pedagogical judgment. The teacher transitions from being a pure creator of materials from scratch into more of an editor, an evaluator, and a designer of instruction. And for the students, the shift is just as profound. We are looking at entirely new foundational literacies. Students now have to be taught how to critically evaluate AI outputs, spot those confident but entirely false hallucinations, and document their AI usage honestly. And perhaps most importantly, they have to learn to maintain productive struggle. Because look, if a student never wrestles with a blank page, they never develop the critical thinking that the wrestling actually produces. As the BU source humorously points out, academic integrity policies from way back in 2022 already read as completely quaint in 2026.
And this brilliantly illustrates a massive dual challenge for educators facing assessment. The old take-home essay, that's no longer a reliable metric. Schools are shifting to process-based assessments, watching the drafts and revisions happen in real time to make the actual thinking process visible. But they also have to balance two very distinct goals: using AI to assess learning versus assessing what a student actually learns about AI. Both are absolutely critical, and educators need rubrics that can handle both of them transparently.
This whole shift has created a pretty significant leadership and governance gap. Vendor marketing is moving way faster than the hard evidence regarding bias and equity. To address this, Boston University introduced their online Master of Education in AI and Education. This program is specifically designed to train educators to lead AI adoption, but with the strictly human-centered paradigm. It's not just about learning which buttons to press on the software. It's serious graduate-level work focusing on ethics, equity, privacy, and how to build frameworks that actually serve the students safely.
Chapter 3. Healthcare, the empathetic AI. This next part is perhaps the most fascinating paradox of our explainer today. By bringing highly advanced machines right into the exam room, we are actually making medicine more human again. The Docklings Health blog outlines how AI is directly attacking record-high clinician burnout. One of the biggest breakthroughs? The ambient clinical scribe. Just imagine an AI agent securely listening to a consultation, filtering the conversation, and generating perfectly structured medical notes. It completely eliminates that dreaded mountain of manual paperwork, which finally allows the doctor to just sit back and look their patient in the eye.
To really appreciate this, let's peek at the engine under the hood. Like, how does a machine actually spot an early-stage tumor in an ultra-detailed MRI? Well, it starts with data ingestion, absorbing millions of de-identified medical records. Next up is machine learning, where deep learning algorithms train themselves to recognize those minute, highly complex differences between healthy and unhealthy tissues. Then neural networks jump in to help draft treatment plans. But the final, absolute, most crucial step in all of this? The human in the loop.
Because remember, AI doesn't think. It just recognizes patterns. It provides a confidence score, say a 98% probability of a specific diagnosis, but it absolutely does not make the final call. The human physician verifies the data, applies their years of medical expertise, and delivers empathetic care to the patient. And all of this is built on strict, HIPAA-compliant encryption, ensuring that patient data remains secure and entirely anonymized. AI is just the ultimate augmentative tool. It handles the computational heavy lifting so doctors can focus on complex decision-making.
So the crucial point is that we are seeing a massive paradigm shift in the patient journey. I mean, think about it. We've moved from long, frustrating phone holds to instant 24/7 AI scheduling, from waiting days for manual diagnostic reviews to near-instant AI-assisted triage, from periodic, spread-out clinic visits to real-time tracking via wearables, and from hours of soul-crushing manual data entry for doctors to automated ambient scribing. The entire healthcare system is becoming faster, sharper, and just far more responsive.
Chapter 4. The human in the loop.
Across art, education, and healthcare, a really unified picture starts to emerge. When we push past the fear, we see that artificial intelligence is exceptionally good at handling the robotic, repetitive, and data-heavy tasks. And by offloading those tasks, we aren't losing our jobs. Actually, scratch that. It's more like we are clearing the deck. We're freeing up our time, our energy, and our mental bandwidth to focus exclusively on the things that make us uniquely human: empathy, pedagogy, and complex judgment. Which leaves us with this final thought. In your own industry, as these highly capable AI tools take over the mechanical heavy lifting, how will you use your reclaimed time to be more human? Think about it. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep exploring.